What's up, guys? This is Unholy Asylum bringing you a sniping clip with the. Well, I'm using both sniper rifles on this map. I use the USR with the thermal sight for a little bit, then I switch over to the L11. And I think I'm only running chrome barrel and the armor piercing ammo on the L11. But real quick about the gameplay, because I actually had a story I wanted to tell, but I don't really do that good on this map. You see, that was an epic fail right there, me trying to jump jump up on that spot. I feel ashamed to even put that on here, but anyways, I only go, I think I go 20 and like 20 something kills and 17 deaths, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's better than what it could be, so I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and brag about my kills or anything. I mean, as long as I'm positive, I really don't care how many kills or deaths I get. But so the story I was going to tell, it happened a couple years ago when well, actually, let's see, I would have been probably, since I'm 20 now, I'd probably been 17 when it happened. But my dad well, my parents are divorced. My dad lived in a trailer park. And I was staying over there one night, and then the next day, I was walking up and down the trailer park, you know, the little road that goes to it. And then I started walking on the main road a little bit. And then, for some reason, I sat down at a tree that was growing beside of the trailer park road, because I was on the phone with my grandma. And then all of a sudden, these cops like start swarming in, and it was fucking crazy. And then they had their guns out and everything, talking about freeze, don't move. You know, it scared me shitless. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But then I hung up the phone and put my hands up with the phone in my hand, and they were sitting there talking about, asking me where my gun was and all this, and told me to put my hands on the tree, and was patting me down and giving me a body search and everything. And see, this is the first time that I've experienced anything like that, so that really that was that was one hell of an experience, just how it was starting out. Because the main cop actually drove his car through the grass from the main road into the trailer park. He didn't even take the road for the trailer park. He drove through the main road drove through the grass that was connected to that was, you know, kind of between the main road and the trailer park road. It went in between two trailers, and yeah, in the middle of somebody's yard, and just stopped right there and then got out of the car. But I think it was like, let's see, there was probably 3 or 4 officers up there, and then they searched me and didn't find anything, and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just talking on the phone and walking up the road. I mean, I ain't being loud or anything." Because, you know, it's how some people can be in a trailer park. I mean, if you're talking over your normal voice, they'll call the freaking police on you, talking about there's somebody out here yelling and screaming and all this other BS. But anyways, then he started asking me about if I had a gun on me and all this. I said, no, I don't have a gun on me. I just have, you know, my phone, and I had my phone, my keys, and my wallet like usual. And then another officer pulled me over, and he said, "Well, we got a call from some old woman in these trailers, said there was a guy toting a gun around and walking up and down the trailer park carrying a gun." I was like, no, there's no way that could be me. Not even old enough to, well, actually, I think you can own a gun at 18, but I've not been able to. I don't own any guns, so I mean, it's not like I'm gonna magically pull a gun out or anything, pull a damn gun out of my ass or something. But, and then the other cop pulled me to the side, and he started, you know, he told me that, and then he was making jokes about it, asking me where my bazooka was and all this. I said, "Oh, I threw it up in the tree." And he started laughing. He said, and then he started telling me about how they always get these random calls. People, there won't even be anything going on or anything, and they'll just call the police up there for no reason. So most time, I'm guessing people just do it for the hell of it, because if you say if it's such an emergency, then they have to at least send somebody out there. They're not gonna they're not gonna not send anybody out there in case it actually was something happening. I mean, that'd be ridiculous if something was happening and they didn't send anybody out there. But after all that happened, I walked back down to the trailer, because I was shaking like hell and everything else, because I just couldn't believe that just happened. So I'm standing there shaking and all this. My dad's sitting there at his trailer outside looking, trying to figure out what's going on the whole time. He's just, once he found out what was going on, because one of the other officers went and told him, he's just standing over there laughing his butt off like it's so freaking hilarious and all this. Because he doesn't really, he's had a few run-ins with the cops, and he really don't care. He really don't care what they're going to do or what they say or whatever. Which most time I don't. It just kind of depends on most stuff. Some stuff I do, sometimes. Some stuff I do, some stuff I don't. But we're not going to get into that. That's another story that's another topic for another video. But he's sitting there just laughing his butt off, sitting in his chair on his porch. And then I walked down there. And of course, he asked me what happened and all this. And I told him, I said, well, I told him the whole story. And he said apparently it wasn't even an old woman. It was a woman that lived up the road from us that didn't really like us that much, which she never really even met us or talked to us. She's only talked to us, I think, once or twice. But some reason, I guess she's heard stuff through the trailer park of people's, trying to spread rumors and shit, like most people do in trailer parks. And then you got people I guess you can say trailer parks are kind of like apartment buildings. Sometimes you just gotta, because trailer parks, you really have to kind of be careful, who you live beside of, whatever. Because I have another story for the next video, but I'll go ahead and kind of give a little bit of hints to it. Our neighbor was I think she actually was a drug dealer in a way, but she didn't deal like marijuana. She mainly dealt like, sold pills, just minor stuff. She didn't really sell, like I was saying, like marijuana or crack or anything. It was just like Xanaxes and oxycodones or codeines or whatever they're called. But because there was a stretch where she asked, before we knew all this about her, there was a stretch where she did come over, and hang out, cook out and everything. Because we would have, little cookouts, and everybody would come, the people we knew that lived there would come down and eat and everything. And real quick about the gameplay, if you watch this is crazy. I actually I think I get a quad feed or a 5-man feed, or I know it's split, whatever it is. But anyways, before we knew all that, like I was saying, she'd come to the cookouts or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like a week or two later, we find out she's been dealing pills and all this mess. And I'm just kind of, because I thought they might have been coming down to get her. I didn't know. Yeah, you could imagine the look on my face when I figured that, after they said something to me and I figured out that they had their guns out on me, telling me to put my hands up and all this other crap. But I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell any more about that. About the neighbor. Like I said, I'll save that for the next video. And you see, you can kind of hear, and since the video is about over with, I'll talk about the gameplay for a little bit. And you see my dramatic fail at knifing right there, because apparently everybody else in this game can lunge, but I can't. And I thought that this video would be a good one to tell a story with, because it's more of a more of a chill video and not a video of me going on some insane gun streak or anything like that. It's more of just me, casually playing. And I wanted to actually get, there's opinions on the sniper rifles between the USR and the L11. Because if you notice, I think it's coming up, but there's a few shots that with the L11 that I've had my cross. It hasn't happened that much with the USR, but I've had a few shots with the L11 that I have my scope, my crosshairs directly on them, and I'll shoot once or twice and nothing will happen. Like, it's not registering in the hitbox, or what, I don't know if it's just my connection doing it. But if you guys have experienced similar stuff like that, just leave a comment below. If you know what causes it, also leave that in the comment below. And if there's a way to fix it or anything that leave that below also. But since
you can't do that more, I don't understand. Fuck you, kid.